Hey everyone, welcome to the last couple of weeks of Introduction to Human Rights. It's hard to believe, but the semester is rapidly approaching the end, and this coming week will be your final sort of standard module for the course. So you'll have one more set of readings and weekly blog posts, and then from there, what you have left is to complete your professional project. And then taking the online final exam. So in this video, I'll just give kind of a quick recap of what we've covered so far in the course and what you have remaining to accomplish. And I'll say the work has been outstanding thus far, and I really look forward to seeing y'all's final professional projects, and I'm sure you'll do just fine on the exam. So in this course, Introduction to Human Rights, we started talking about the moral, philosophical, and historical foundations to human rights. What were the bases for the foundation of the development of modern human rights? We then looked at the legal frameworks and conventions that really established modern human rights, all centered around and based upon the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. From there, we looked at several different international organizations that are tasked with enforcing human rights and continuing to build modern human rights law. And we also looked at several specific issues within human rights, such as human trafficking, war and conflict, women's and children's rights, the role of human rights in healthcare and the environment. And then finally, most recently, you've been looking at different regional approaches to human rights in the United States, in Europe, and in developing countries. So in our final standard module of the course, we're going to shift from a governmental focus to a non-governmental focus. So you'll do a couple of readings about NGOs or non-governmental organizations, or as we would refer to them in the United States, more commonly nonprofit organizations. NGOs typically start with a service-focused mission: provide housing for a certain population, provide clean water or food or some other type of direct service. But many more NGOs have more recently begun also focusing on human rights advocacy, seeing a link between the services they provide, the needs that the populations have, and human rights issue. And NGOs are stepping up to the plate to try to play a role in the field of human rights. So you'll do a couple of readings and have one blog post on some examples of NGOs playing a role in human rights advocacy and some sort of considerations for NGOs as they examine whether or not to play a role in the human rights field. So your next blog post due next Wednesday, which is April 17th. And then that's your final standard blog post. Your final blog post overall will be the professional project, which is due April 27th. So that assignment has been posted for a while, so hopefully you've looked at it and started working on it. That assignment is going to ask you to make the connection between your major or your intended career field and the field of international human rights. So you'll be asked to kind of talk about where human rights overlaps with your future occupational area, things someone in your major occupation should consider in regards to human rights, and how your field can play a role in advancing human rights, and or maybe ways that it has countered human rights. So I hope this will be a good exercise for you to really take home some of the lessons of this course and apply them to your field of study and to your future work. And once again, if you have any questions about what the expectations are for that assignment, or you're stuck on how to make the connection between human rights and your field, please let me know. The sooner, the better. After completing the professional project, the last piece of this course will be the final exam. So the final exam, on Canvas now, there is an overview of the exam. So it includes the technical details of the exam, where it will be, when it will be posted, and the expectations. It also provides some sample questions. So you'll definitely want to take a look at that. The exam itself will be available on Canvas from Monday, April 29th at 8 a.m. until Wednesday, May 1st at midnight. So you'll have 3 days that the exam will be open. However, once you click on the exam to open it, you will have one attempt to take it, and it will be up for 3 hours. So you've got a 3-day window in which you can take it. So choose the time that's going to work best for you with your other exams, work, studying, etc. But just know that once you click on it, you have one shot, 3 hours to finish it. The exam is an open book exam, so you can reference any course materials, any readings, any of your blog posts, any external resources that you would like to help you in completing the exam. However, it is an independent exam, so you cannot take the exam with other students. You can't be taking it together and sharing and discussing ideas. It's an independent exam, but it is open book. That being said, if you've ever taken an open book exam before, typically the standards will be a little bit higher because the instructor knows that you have resources available. And the other important thing is to still plan ahead and to be organized, because once again, you do have 3 hours to complete it. So if you have looked at the sample questions and have an idea of what resources you might need to refer to during the exam and have those open, available, and organized, it's going to be much easier for you to complete the exam in 3 hours. If you just kind of open it up and think it's open book, I'll find whatever I need, that's going to be very difficult to do in a 3-hour period. So what will be on the exam? There are 3 sections to the exam. The first section is multiple choice. So there's 10 multiple choice questions. It'll ask you things from the readings for this course. And on Canvas, on the overview, there's a few examples of what these questions might look like. So that'll hopefully give you an idea of how to prepare for that section. There are also 5 short answer questions. These short answer questions, again, will draw on things that we've covered in the readings and discussions for this class, but they'll pose a question and ask you to respond to it in just a couple of sentences. And once again, on Canvas, there's a couple examples of what these short answer questions look like. Finally, there'll be one essay question. This essay question will be very similar to a discussion prompt for the weekly blog. It's going to ask you to, pick a topic of interest to you related to human rights. And on the Canvas overview, there's a little more explanation of what that means and some examples of the types of issues you might choose. So once you've chosen an issue, there'll be a few follow-up questions about how does it relate to human rights, what are relevant human rights law, what are relevant organizations that are working on this issue. So again, final exam, it will be posted on Canvas Monday, April 29th through Wednesday, May 1st. You can click on it to take it any time during that window. Once you click on it, you have 3 hours to complete it. It is open book, and it consists of 10 multiple choice questions, 5 short answer, and 1 essay. Again, please refer to the overview on Canvas so that you'll have a good idea of what's coming up. So with that, that is what you have remaining for the course. It has been my pleasure reading your weekly blog posts, reading your case study essays, and seeing your videos. I think you've done tremendous work, and I've really valued seeing how you've applied principles of human rights to many modern day issues and things that are going on in the world today. So I hope this course has been informative for you, and I particularly hope that through the professional project you'll get some ideas of what your relationship to the world of human rights will be in the future. Once again, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best in the final exam for this course and wrapping up all your other courses for this semester. And please don't reach out to contact me at any time. Take care.